Hi guys. Hi everyone that has joined. Candace, Fats, Pumeza in the kitchen with Kungi. Um, Pumeza. Hi everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So today we are live talking all things influencer marketing trends. And on the live, I will have the beautiful, beautiful Jill joining us. She is the integrated marketing manager for McCain Foods, and we will be discussing all things influencer and influencer marketing. So I wonder if she has joined us, but I'm gonna give it just 2 more minutes and then I will accept her in, just so that we have a number of people here on the live. But please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. I see there are people that are joining. Okay, there's Jill. Go live with Jill. Perfect, you can. Okay, Jill is joining. Hi! You look so beautiful.
Hey, hi. Thank you.
Oh my word, you look so gorgeous. I put in like a 5 minutes face. I'm actually feeling sick, but I was like, I gotta. Yeah, I know.
Oh no. Well, girl, that's what you can do in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
I'm
You look so
impressed.
stunning.
You need no more.
I'm so excited. I've been good, and you can't
Thank
complain.
you. How are you?
I'm excited that I'm talking to you because I've been waiting for this moment. But I'm good. Are you good?
Yay! I'm very good. Thank you so much for asking. It is a Thursday, so I hope everybody tuned in has some form of
Do you have
beverage of their choice, You know, I mean, I might have snuck in a little wine here, Luis, and then my wifey for life is also going to hook me up so that this conversation can get really real. Because I know people didn't join to hear
I know.
Watered down-ish. Do you know what I mean? We
spitting the tea. We're spitting
today,
gold, and I'm really excited to be chatting with you. And I think I'm also going to learn a lot from you. So this is very. I wish I grabbed also a glass of wine so I could just, But it's fine. So what have you been busy with? Because you are a fabulous integrated marketing manager at McCain. So you guys are busy. I'm seeing a lot of McCain content going out. So what have you been busy with?
Yeah, Lisa, it's been really cool, actually. It's been really cool to be in a digital space and in a digital focus space. So my background is in pure brand marketing. And that's, what I've been fortunate to always work on beautiful brands. So I've worked on Lux, and I've worked on Ponds, I've worked on foods brands. So yeah, I've got quite a nice breadth of experience within brand building. And then working at McCain now, I am totally in a digital focus role. And that's been really cool. Because before, in brand, you're dealing with all of the channels. And contrary to what people might believe, brand is actually quite diverse. So you're also dealing with consumer insights. You're dealing with innovation to market. So it's very broad. Within digital right now, I'm very much focused on building digital ecosystems, building audiences for brands. And that's very new. So what I think a lot of influencers are going to see is that more and more you're working less with an agency who's dealing with digital and more with the digital teams directly.
That is so interesting.
Or with the businesses
it's
directly.
Much better.
It's a big shift. Yeah, it's a big shift that's happening now internally, which is really great, right? Because you're one step closer to the people you actually want to speak to, which is awesome. So that's been, so we've been very busy. But we are the fastest growing, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page in FMCG foods in the country right now. So we are knocking down. Actually, just today we hit 22K followers on our IG, which was our KPI for the year. Yes, girl. So we're doing the thing. So yeah, I'm really busy. And the good news for influencers is
Right?
post-COVID, digital is more important than ever. So if as a brand, you were kind of like skirting on the edge, you were a little bit scared before COVID, post-COVID, there's no doubt that you need some kind
Yeah.
of presence within digital. So it's really pushed brands.
Yeah.
And with that comes obviously spend into digital platforms. So that's also
That
been
is
really
so
great
amazing.
for the influencer
I was
market.
about to say that it's really good to be in the digital space, especially because of COVID. A lot of people are working from home, but those that managed to keep their jobs are mostly people in digital because everything is on the phone, on the laptop. You don't physically have to be in the office. So I think the digital space is really, really an amazing space to be at. And yeah, kudos to you guys. I mean, congratulations on your followers and stuff. And I like I said, I've been seeing a lot of McCain Foods content, and it's brilliant. It's really brilliant content. So well done. So why influencer market? Why are brands going for influencer market where back in the days they would go for like above the line kind of marketing, etc.? Why influencer marketing?
So I think that it's been a shift in brands move with the market, right? So, brands don't play in a party by themselves.
Yeah.
Really good branding is about following your consumer. And so the shift happened when consumers actually, so people have a limited number, limited resources in terms of time, in terms of money, so consumers actually moved. So I was looking, so this is like the stats from last year, but because COVID also caused a shift in that. But what we did see with consumers is that they were spending about 3 hours, 30 minutes a day watching TV and 3 hours, 10 minutes a day on some kind of social media. And that is a shift that we didn't think was possible. So I've been in the game for 13 years, and back then it was all about TV.
Yes.
It was all about big, above the line. So all of that stuff. And what we've seen is consumers moving. So if you're gonna like sit down at the end of the day, are you gonna spend that time watching TV? Or are you gonna spend that time on TikTok, which we know is like eating people's time at the moment, social media? And so brands really moved with the market, or at least smart brands moved with the market. And so that's what caused the shift, is we move with our consumer. And we've definitely seen a big move into social media. And that's really what sparked the change. But I think what's been really interesting is that brands have had to learn that the channel is very different. And so the kind of content that you're producing, or the way that you syndicate content for a channel, is very different. So the brands that are still putting a 60-second or a 30-second TVC, or even a 45-second TVC onto digital, and thinking that that's the way to do it, are the guys that are not doing it really effectively. So that's where influencer marketing is so important, because what social media has done is it is social. So you have to position the brand differently. The way that you come to market and create content is so different. And that's what influencers get.
Amen.
So influence, it's all about social. And that's what influencers just do so well. And so any brand that's really smart about the way that they show up on social will make sure that they have an always on influencer campaign in place, and take influencers seriously, because it really is a legitimate source of content creation and a legitimate way to show up within the social media space. So
amazing. A lot of people I'm seeing are loving it, and they're saying we must save the life. I am going to save the life for you guys, because I really think that Jill is dropping some gold today, and we're going to learn from her. So I will save it also for those that didn't tune in. So Jill, with the given state of COVID and the economy, etc., are you saying it's safe for influencers? Like, are there more jobs for influencers? And where do you see the influencer industry in 5 years? Is it going to be phased out, or still brands are going to invest in influencers?
Oh, let me rub on my magic crystal ball. There's definitely, Lisa, there's no doubt. So The first time I did an influencer campaign was when I worked on ponds back in 2010. The second time I did it was for the Skip Fashion Exchange in 2012, 2013. So the question as to whether or not there's a future in it, I think undoubtedly there's a future in but I like to use the word content creation. So content is king at the moment, and you know, I think what's important is to understand how to commercialize your content in a way that is sustainable. And in a way that really adds value, and that's what's going to future-proof you as a content creator. But whether or not, you know, if the question is, you know, should I go into it, is there a future in it? Absolutely. I think as long as there are channels out there that demand the kind of content that influencers or content creators provide, there will be a future. The thing you have to be sure of is that you future-proof yourself, and that you know, the goal is sustainability, and that's where we're going to see real power.
100%. So as a brand manager, what do you look for in an influencer when you have a campaign and you want a group of influencers to, you know, send this message out to the masses? What are you looking for?
Such a good question, Lisa. And I love this question because I think it's, you know, it's kind of the same way as like when you are just want to go on a date and you're like, what the guys want? You know, what are brands looking for? And it's so smart, you know, that you ask these questions, and you ask these questions to the people who are making the decisions. So I think what you should be asking yourself is, what is the brand looking for? So as a content creator, you need to understand the whole value equation comes in terms of what can you give and what do I need. So it really depends on what the objective of the campaign is. You know, you could be, and that's where you, as a content creator, you need to be very clear. And if you're not clear, you need to ask, and you need to get really, you know, you need to try and get as crystal clear as possible. So is the brand looking for reach? You know, and then in that case, the size of your audience is really important. Is the brand looking for engagement? In that case, you know, your engagement numbers would be more important. What's very important is that you understand your numbers, and you understand as a content creator what you're really good at doing. So there are certain guys, for me, it really depends. Oh, and then the other thing is obviously in beautiful content. So, you know, for me, on some campaigns, I really just want beautiful content. On other 100%. Campaigns, I really want to drive awareness. On other ones, I'm looking to, for example, on McCain, we're really trying to grow our emailer database at the moment. So my always on influencer campaign is focused on driving the conversion in terms of growing my database. And so any influencer that has really good engagement, even if their audiences are small, is going to be really interesting to me, because that's the objective of my campaign. So as a content creator, you want to go into briefs, you want to ask the questions that really make it crystal clear for you what the brand is looking
100%.
for. And then that is where your value lies. And that's why, Lisa, you need to know your numbers. I'm so tired of getting screen grabs of people's Instagram pages. That only tells me how big your community is. And to be honest with you, Lisa, anybody who's doing social media marketing well knows how to spend the money on their own brand page to get the reach.
Wow.
So we've gotten to a point, I have a fantastic, he's my digital husband, actually. We'll say community chair, but you know, that I work with. And
hey,
between the two of us, so shout out to Steve. Hey.
And hi to everyone. There's so much love.
And
yes, Candy guys, and Carl,
I see all the people, all the fans on the line. Yay! And so we know how to get the reach, Lisa. Like, we've got, you know, so as we're building our audiences and we're building that community, and the size of the community is important, I know how to get my reach, because the way that the algorithms are built, if you pay, you get the reach. Do you know what I mean? You know, so often I'm not really looking for the guys that have the biggest communities. I'm looking for the guys that are going to give me really good impact in terms of engagement. You know what I mean? Because I want that was actually the data.
Yeah,
or
that was actually one
sometimes
of my questions, that
I want
does
beautiful content.
having a larger influence or following, is it as important, or is engagement important? Because I've realized there's been a shift with brands where they actually rather use nano influencers because they have like that high engagement, whereas those that have a high following, they don't really engage with their followers. It's just, boom, here's the piece of content, love it. So I 100% agree with you. It's all about understanding the brief and also achieving the goal, and also engaging with your consumers. Because also at the end of the day, your followers don't want to feel like they're following a ghost account. So it's very important as an influencer or a content creator to engage with your followers. So I 100% agree with you.
Yes.
What?
Yes. And you want to be authentic,
Yeah.
right? Because, and that's where the sustainability comes in. So people are, even for my account, people are coming and leaving every single day, right? And that's their prerogative. But you want to make sure that in the, you know, the coming and the going, that you're still on an upswing. And in order to do that, that's where the sustainability comes in. And that's where your authenticity comes in. And where an understanding of your community also comes in. So don't be, you know, brands come and go, and campaigns come and go. You know, the core of who you are as a content creator and what 100%. You provide is what's most important. And then if you do that really well, the brands will follow. So that's very important. But again, Lisa, know your numbers, know your insights page back to front, and also watch it. So try different things. I'm learning on my side, because in a sense, I'm also a content creator, but I just do it under the guise of a brand, you know, and in this case, it's a foods brand. But, you know, what you want to make sure to do is to play. True. So we're trying new mechanics all the time. We're trying different ways I play all the time. And the beautiful thing about digital, and it goes back to what you were talking about, why have brands moved on? True. They've moved on because audiences have moved on. But they've also moved on because there are so many benefits to digital. Number one, the return on your marketing investment is insane. Like my marketing team, so I've got I work with, you know, as a digital marketer, a big part 100%. Of what makes me strong is collaboration. And so collaboration both internally as well as externally. So my marketing team are actually saying, like, yeah, take the money, because what I can do, you know, in digital and on my channel for very small amounts of money, 100%. You're getting the same reach that you could get on TV. So you're getting a really good return on investment, which is why we're doing it. And also the tracking aspect of it is so cool. So I can actually see by numbers. It's not like
TV, it's always
I can see by numbers what works.
It's always
what
a guessing game. Yeah.
You know, yes, ARs, you're like, wow, actually, what is it? What does it mean? Can I trust it? You can't, you know, make that stuff up. It's all there in the back end. And that's what's so beautiful about digital, is that you can track it. But you mustn't be scared of your analytics. Your analytics is your power. So know your numbers, your own numbers, know them, and know what you can achieve. And in that, you're going to really be able to understand your value. And then, you know, it comes to the big question that influences also how much,
that's actually
how much am I worth?
I wanted
you know
to
what I mean?
ask
You only know
how
you know
does
your
an
number.
influencer, you know, strike a deal with a brand? And how much does an influencer charge? What's the general rule?
So there is the rule is that there is no rule. So my recommendation to you is, guys, keep in mind, like, there are just so many content creators out there, and it's so diverse that the rules have shifted. So like I said, 10 years ago when I did the Skip Fashion Exchange, there were a limited number of women in the game, and I had personal relationships with all of them. Now, you know, you're dealing with hundreds of thousands of amazing content creators. So what I would highly recommend is joining an agency like Affluence. You know, because as a digital marketer, I don't, unfortunately, as much as I would love to, I don't have the time to be able to reach out to everybody and work with everybody on a one-on-one basis. So I do prefer, because scale, sustainability, I do prefer to work with influencer agencies. So I definitely say register with an influencer agency, because that's how I'm going to be able to find you. Yeah, I'd say in terms of value, how long is a piece of string, Lisa? It depends on who you're working with. It depends on, and that is what makes it so difficult. But that's where an agency does help you, because they obviously are working on a number of campaigns with a number of influencers. So they're going to be able to really help you to define that value, or at least point you in the right direction. And I do want to say on this one, Lisa, like, the way people often ask me, like, how do we become McCain influencers, or how do I become a content creator? Another cool way to be able to do it, besides joining an agency, a reputable one, is in going ahead and creating the content. And I know that seems like a bit like, like, why would I do it for free? But often the people that are fine. So make sure you tag the brand, but I dedicate. So I have very key content pillars, right? And I'm clear on those. If you create something that is relevant to a content pillar of mine, I will repost you. And then guess what? You're on my radar. Then that's so it's like it feels a bit counterintuitive, but actually, if you go ahead and you already just start creating content and you tag the brand, it gives us that authenticity, because it means that you are a brand fan. So then I'm already more inclined to work with you, and then yes. And you get on my radar, Lisa. So every Friday, for example, I go onto my feed, I go into everything that I've been tagged on for the week. And then based on that, I repost anything that's related to a pillar. We do fries on a Friday. Get it? You know what I mean? But, so, and that's where, and then I go in and I repost and I go, and then I go, ooh, wait. Yes, exactly. And I'm like, oh, who's this person? Who's that? Who's on the scene there? But at least the thing is that for me, again, it goes back to your campaign. So there's some campaigns where I need a macro. And then there's some campaigns where I need a micro. And then there's some campaigns where we've used nanos. So it goes, I think a good brand understands what the objective is. And then from there, you're able to really pinpoint the people that you want to work with.
And like you said, speaking about pillars, it's important as an influencer to have, don't be an influencer that is posting about beauty or because a lot of brands are looking for those kind of influencers.
Oh, that's a really great point, Lisa. So I hate to tell people get into a niche, because as women, we are multifaceted. As a dancer, you could be multifaceted. As a foodie, you could be multifaceted. So there's pros and cons to both. I think it comes down to, do you, like, if you, for example, sometimes I will say straight, like, I'm looking for vegan foodies. Because what we have realized is that the guys in that food, and it's because food is one of those sectors that's very personalized. I think beauty is the same thing. If you think about hair influencers, or so what I've noticed is that when people are really niche, they get really good engagement, but it definitely does impact on their audience. It's not to say that you can't build massive audience, but there are only so many people who are interested in purely vegan content. So again, I would say, don't create, like, the essence of what your content is about shouldn't be geared towards one specific brand, or even around, I want to make money off of this page. I think you should create the kind of content that excites you, that makes you happy. If it's in something that's really specific, absolutely flip and do that, and then brands will come. Yeah. The tea, guys. Okay, so look, for me, Lisa, I see that my digital brand assistant is on the line. Hello, Paul. So Paul is actually Paul will go through all of the profiles, because we obviously want to do our due diligence and make sure that anybody that we have partnered with is authentic and it makes sense for the brand and all that stuff. So we kind of look at the current content that's on your page as a portfolio of your work, and from that we'll get a good sense of whether or not you are able to meet the campaign objectives. Somebody's complaining about sound. Rashawn is saying she can hear me. Liz, I can hear you perfectly, so it might just be Rashana. Girl, but shame. Give us a thumbs up. I can hear you perfectly. Maybe I must be that honey that repeats the question. Lisa, what was the question? Oh, you were asking about competitors, eh? Competitor brands. I don't think, Lisa, listen here. I don't think that there's like a hard and fast rule on it. Um, for me, I'm going to look at your portfolio of work and then I'm going to try and assess whether or not it's relevant for the objectives of my campaign. And then based on that, we're going to work together. Obviously, if you are already affiliated with the brand, I can't work with you. Or let's just say I'm the kind of brand that doesn't want to be affiliated with alcohol and you have a lot of, alcohol on your page, you're an alcohol influencer. But that's also okay. You can't be everything to everyone. And again, it comes back to like being really single-minded in terms of what you're about, what your content is about. Because I do find that the guys that are trying to be everything to everybody are the guys that are often missing the mark, So it's just, it doesn't feel authentic. And then at the end of the day, it impacts on your audience. And then ultimately that impacts on my ability to gain value from you. And then it fizzles out, sort of thing. So I think don't be, again, go just be authentic. Create the stuff you want to. That's cool. You understand your channel. You understand your audiences. Sites page and get. I can hear you perfectly, Lisa. These people are haters, girl. So guys, Lisa, all of those who are saying that Lisa's sound isn't great, the question was content and content types. Is video king or stills dead? Yeah, Lisa, I think it's the audio coming from the Fluence page. But it's cool. It's cool. They can hear me. And that was a great question. Content, yeah, I think it's still about a mix of both. So video is great. And we definitely do see better engagement on content that is video focused. But I think that it is somebody's saying, Jill, repeat the questions as they ask, please. Ola, got you. Gotcha, girl. So it's about what kind of content are we? Yeah, sure. Cool. Let's try that. Guys, come back. Come back. I like this.
Hi guys, please let me know if you can hear me better. I'm really sorry about earlier on. I don't know what is going on, but let me know if the sound is coming through, if I'm audible on your side. Candace, please let me know if you can hear me. Good, 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 good. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I'm just gonna wait for Jill. I'm really sorry about that. The first part of the live has been uploaded, and we are just gonna wait for Jill to join as well. And oh, perfect. I'm very happy you can hear me now. Sorry about that. So for those that have just joined, we were talking about influencer marketing trends and just asking Jill, who is the integrated marketing brand manager for McCain Foods, the ins and outs and tips about influencer marketing. And she dropped some gems. I'm just going to accept her now. Going to carry on with our conversation and pick up where we left off. But I'm so happy the sound is better. Okay, I'm happy the sound is better.
Hey guys. Lisa, you good? Roshana, can you guys hear Lisa?
Yeah, they can hear me.
You can hear us. Hey, Aprina. Aprina is one of our McCain. Yes, girl.
Yes. Okay, cool. Perfect.
Yes, Amanda, thank you.
Hey,
Johnny.
okay, so where did we... Hey!
All the faves, man.
Oh, it's so nice to have all our faves all on one live.
Yes.
Yeah. So where did we stop? We spoke about competitive brands, and selecting an influencer that has worked.
We were speaking about content types.
Oh yes, content types. So let's talk about the content types and the trends for 2021, and which one adds more weight in terms of content types.
Okay, so Lisa, I think what you want to do as a content creator is diversity is king here. So you know, every type has a role. So video, like I said, video is where you're going to get really good engagement. But the reality of video is that it takes a lot of time. So we're not seeing like any video that's longer than like a 15-second that people start dropping off, and that's where like TikTok and the success of TikTok has come about. So you know, you really sorry, I'm trying to talk at the same time, guys.
That's fine.
It's so lit, man.
Oh my word, this live is so lit, and I swear we are so sober.
I mean, maybe I should be going to find if we had wine.
I know, crazy.
But you know, Lisa, I really say diversity is king with content, because every type has a benefit and then has a drawback to it. So stills, you know, might not be as exciting as video, but we get really good reach when we put, you know, paid spend behind it. So again, it goes back to the objective, and it's so important that I keep on saying this. But it just depends what your objective is. And for me, I sometimes I feel so bad for content creators, because if the brand doesn't understand what the objective of that campaign is, then it's just a mess. And then, you know, it's really difficult for you to decide what you do, and then you want to do something really specific. So again, you want to push to understand that campaign objective, and understand that there's every campaign has a different objective. And so you're going to see, maybe in this case, video is going to work really well. Like I see Candace Abrams is on the line, and Candace is a really good example of that. So I've worked with Candace before on McCain, and you know, Candace is anything from TikTok videos to videos with the kids cooking to, you know, stills imagery. So that for me, give us the diversity, give us the energy in the diversity of that, and then based on what the objective of the campaign is and what the brand really enjoys, you're going to see that value, you know, coming through. So so I'd say just diversity in content types. I
agree with you. I totally agree with you, especially with short reels and stuff. I think those are paying attention, like grabbing the attention of many. But also, like you said, diversity for a specific campaign would be great. Especially like if you're selling a lifestyle, video content is great, because people love to see pretty things and how you actually use the products, etc. But if if you can do a still and a picture speaks 1,000 words, then run for it.
Yeah, or do both.
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
My battery is like, girl. But we're all good. Yeah,
Wow.
just do it all. Do everything and then see what works. And like I said, test. It's like literally that's what we're finding the best thing to do is try it, sort of thing. So we said, you know, I keep on getting asked, should we be on TikTok? You know, is that where, you know, are we missing out on a trick? And in the what I love about digital, but what also freaks people out about digital is that it's changing every day. You know, we see new stuff pop up all the time. You as a content creator, if you're serious about what you do, then you need to be able to play with all kinds. Because if you just think about it, like I think about back when I was doing Skip Fashion Exchange, there was only Facebook, there was no Instagram. I mean, flip, it would have been, it was very small. You know, Instagram was tiny. You know, flipping 2 years ago, there was no TikTok. Now all of a sudden brands are looking for you know, TikTok content. And I love, that's where I love working with influencers, is because McCain right now is not going to go into TikTok because that's not, for a number of reasons like that I won't go into. But I love the fact that my influencers will go and play with the brand there. And then I can actually see, whoa, is there a market for McCain content on TikTok? Or is it not quite there yet? So personally, I love when my content creators take me into platforms that or content, you know, pieces of or content types that I'm not even familiar with yet, because that's a way of me being able to test. So I would say diversity is king when it comes to content. Get to know all of it.
I agree. I've asked you all the important questions. So I wanted to ask you, is there any advice for those that are wanting to get into the influencer industry? I have had people say, oh my word, it's so saturated. There's so many in. What is your advice for those that are skeptical about getting into the influencer industry? Because I feel like there is a market for everyone.
Yeah, no, I have to. There's accounts shutting down every day. There's accounts opening every day.
Yeah.
I think if you create the kind of content that speaks to you, there's a market for it. You know, and it's usually not a market of one. So, you know, and again, it goes like what I realized, Lisa, because I tried my hand at it. So at some stage, because I'm also a professional makeup artist, so I said, no, I'm gonna try this thing. This looks fun. Let me tell you, that thing is a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
I think she was on the call. She came on at some stage. I mean, she makes it look like it's
Dumi as
so
well
easy.
is on the call.
You know, and you know, Aprina, even you guys make it look like it's so easy. It is so much work.
It's hard work.
It's a lot. It's high, guys. No. I take my hat off to you. I really like it.
I think people also think that content creation and influencers, they're like, oh, really, is that a job for you? It is a lot of work, and people don't understand getting the shot, especially if you're shooting for yourself. It is tons of work. But speaking about shooting for yourself, etc., is it important for you to have a good quality camera, or you can start up with your phone?
Listen, I think right now with the qualities that we're getting out of Huawei, Samsungs, iPhones, you know, you can absolutely start with what you have. The important thing is to just start. And I think that's the point I wanted to make earlier, is that content creation is a really, really difficult game to get into. But you just start. Just flip and get into it and start. And then you know what? You're going to learn lighting. You're going to learn angles. You're going to learn how to, you know, you're going to learn what works for you as well. Just get in the game. Get skin in the game.
And be consistent.
The algorithms also really like accounts that have been in the game for a while. So get in it. Like if you're thinking about it, open your account and start. Because those are the kinds of things that help you in the long run. Then give it a go. So I tried. Girl, I tried, and I've got the technical skill for it. But no. Then I decided it's not for me. Work. I'm not the one. I'd rather
manage the campaign.
So I'd say you'll quickly weed out and decide if it's for you. Just start. Don't wait until I bought a a Canon G shot. My sister's a photographer, an amazing photographer, so she's there helping me out with tripods and lighting. Well, your
Yeah.
fave was in the game for all of a few months, and then I was like, actually not that
No.
awesome. So just start, just get it going.
Yeah.
You'll quickly decide if it is or isn't for you. And then absolutely yes, if it's something that you love and it's something that you're serious about and something that you believe you can sustain, then yes, absolutely invest in your equipment. So Aprina, who's on the line, does some amazing food like shots for us, you know. And the thing about content is that I always call, anybody who works with me knows, I call social media a content monster. So it just takes content, you know. So before, and that's where the shift had to come in as marketers, is we were so used to spending 1 million, 3 million, 7 million on creating one 30-second asset, you know, that would fly to the TVC for 2 years, sort of thing. And now, you know, you can't do that anymore because the content game has changed. So what you're looking for is you're looking for a really good balance of content that is great quality, but that is affordable to create as well. And that is, you know, that because it just every single day, your platforms are demanding content from you. So yes, you must, and also understand how to optimize your content, Lisa. So if you're going to do a shoot, make sure that out of that one shoot, you're going to get various, you know, kinds of content pieces out of it. Because the guys who do it well are the guys that know how to optimize the content that they are creating, because it does take up so much time. So I'd say just get started right now. Open your account up right now. Get off this live. I've got nothing more to say. Start now. And then if you've been in the game for a bit and you know it's something that you'd like to do, I'd say absolutely invest in your equipment, because that is, I immediately go and I look. And like I said, if I'm looking for great content, Lisa, I can't work with you if the content's not beautiful, because you know it reflects on the brand. So especially if you want to commercialize your content, if you couldn't give two hoots about it, then just make a cool account and maybe people will follow. But
I like what you said earlier on about being smart with if you are going to book out a day creating content or with a photographer, just be smart to have different content pieces. Because I've had an incident where I booked a photographer and created content pieces for a specific brand, but in the entire shoot, I had like product placement. And then with the brand, something happened and I couldn't use it. And the content is just sitting there. And I like that point because also, if you're going to spend money on content, be smart about it and save as well. It's important to save your money because you don't want to spend money and now you're sitting with content that you can't use.
And it's a monster, Lisa. You know,
it's terrible.
Every day you wake up, that thing is like, I want from you. So you need to be smart about it. But again, Lisa, you only learn it once you get into the game. You have to fumble. You have to fumble. You have to fumble a collab, and then you realize, oh my goodness, I can do that so much better. And there's seasoned guys that are in the game, but that's because they got in the game. So get in the game.
Yeah, get in the game. I like that. I really, really like that. And I like that you said start. Dumi says she needs to get back to the game. I agree, Dumi, we miss your content. But I like that when you said, start and get in the game. Because I personally use my cell phone. And the nice thing about these new cell phones is that you can set the cameras to be 4K. The quality is great. But now that I know my angles and I know where I'm going, I'm going to invest in, great equipment. So, and I used to be that person, like, I'm not going to start until I have great cameras and lightings, but you need to start somewhere. You can't jump the ship.
aim, and never actually shoot is not the way. Just do it, man. The beautiful thing Steve and I always say, and we learned, is digital has a delete button. So everybody's like, you go to these courses and then people are like, oh, things will live forever in digital. Yes and no. Do you know what I mean? Just delete it, archive it. It's not the end of the world. So what? You were whacked 2 months ago or a year ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, don't care so much, man. Just get in it, start it, and delete it if it's crap.
I I agree. And I think what's important here is to never compare yourself to other content creators, because they have their market, you have your own market. So focus on your market and focus on your work. Stay consistent and don't compare yourself to other content creators.
Very, very importantly. So that like we and that's the thing. There is no. I don't think there's going to be a cap to this thing. Like I said, accounts are opening and closing every day, and what I'm looking for, a campaign to campaign changes. So the stuff that I needed on a campaign in Jan when we were focused on back to school is very different to the kinds of people I'm going to want to collaborate with in terms of content in April around Easter. You know, if I want to speak to somebody about one product in my stable, it'll be very different to speaking to another. So I'd be really sad if people believed the fact that there was a ceiling to this, because there isn't. And that's the beauty of social, is that the same way that you don't say, oh, I'm not going to go out tonight because I think there's a girl there that's going to be exactly like me. It's the same thinking. It's social, guys. Like it's and that's what I flip and love about social media, is that it's social. So it's literally like walking into a virtual bar and interacting with different people.
True.
And in the same way that you know that you are an individual, you know, within the real world, you're most certainly an individual on social, and it's individuality that we actually crave, and it's actually authenticity that we crave, Lisa. So the more you are yourself, you know, you're going to attract the guys that you want to work with, and that is 100% sustainable for you. So
100%. So I think we've covered almost everything. Any last words for those that are influencers and they feel stuck or don't have their creative juices? Because as influencers, there is a point where you just like feel like shutting down. Any advice for those people, and any advice for those that want to be in the influencer industry in closing?
I'd say in closing, stay close to the trends. We've actually just come into a new year now. So what's happened is that all of the guys who do really good digital research, so the likes of like your Hootsuite, for example, do a really good digital report. They are all available free on download. Go and understand the market that you're playing in. So, you know, it's technical, guys. It might look really fun, and it is really fun. Flip, it's a lot of fun. I love it. I get up every morning and I really love doing what I do. But like, there's a lot of resource that's available to you. Go out, download the decks, understand what trends are happening in the market, and then understand how. So that's the external, right? So understand technically what's happening, and then be really clear with yourself internally in terms of what it is that you do, what makes you special, what makes your page unique. Understand both of those, and then find, you know, the overlap, and that's where you're really going to hit your sweet spot. And that's so if you are, for example, somebody who really loves makeup, you know, and you really enjoy making TikTok videos, and be the best flippin' damn TikTok content creator in makeup, in that, you know, in what you do. And by the way, you know, TikTok is growing immensely. Instagram was actually the biggest channel last year that grew. So everybody was talking about TikTok. Yes, TikTok grew, but it grew off a small base. Instagram actually had the most impressive growth with COVID, you know. So if you understand that, then you know, maybe I should be focusing a little bit more on Instagram, because the brands are going to want to play where the audiences are, and that's therefore going to make it easier to be able to commercialize my content. So again, that means that you need to understand the game. So understand yourself, understand the game, and then try and find those beautiful areas where there's that overlap, and that's where you're really, really going to hit that value that comes out of content creation.
Got it. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jill, for your time. I learned so much. I've had a creative block as an influencer, and now I feel rejuvenated, excited, and I can't wait to create content. And I am sure that everyone that was watching feels so appreciative of this conversation, and we can't wait to see your beautiful content that will come from this conversation. And hopefully Jill will choose you as an influencer in future.
And sign up,
Who
definitely
knows?
register with Fluence. Definitely
Sign
do
up
that.
with
It does
Fluence.
make it easier for us to find you and to be able to work with
Yes.
you.
Visit the link on our bio. Visit the our newsletters to see what is happening in the influencer world, and sign up with us, because Jill could be selecting you for the next campaign. But thank you so much, Jill. It was really, really amazing chatting to you. I'm going to chat to you offline. But thank you so much for all your wisdom and your advice. We really, really appreciate you and your time.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Lisa. Thank you so much for spending time with me, girl. Now go get some wine. It's wine.
I am.
Please. Thanks, guys. Thank you to everybody who joined. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
So much.
Thank you. Stay blessed and keep well, keep healthy.
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Bye. Bye.